Can you subscribe to my new channel for support purposes? Do you think they found the lab, she asks, her voice trembling slightly. I don't know, Daniel replies, his hands gripping the steering wheel tightly. But we can't go back. We need to find a new place to work. The near capture forces Daniel and Evelyn to rethink their approach. They realize that they cannot continue working in isolation. If they are to succeed, they need allies. They need a resistance. Daniel reaches out to former colleagues, people he trusts who share his concerns about the new humans. Slowly, a network begins to form. Classical humans from all walks of life, scientists, engineers, educators, and even some new humans who have grown disillusioned with their society join the cause. The resistance is small at first, but it is determined. They set up safe houses and communication channels, and they begin to disseminate information about the dangers of the new human society. They know that they are up against a powerful enemy, but they also know that they are fighting for the very soul of humanity. Daniel and Evelyn continue their research, but now they do so with the support of the resistance. They know that time is running out. The new humans are becoming increasingly unstable, and if they do not find a way to reverse the genetic modifications soon, the consequences could be catastrophic. But as they work, they are haunted by a growing fear. What if they are too late? What if the damage is irreversible? And what if, in their quest to save humanity, they are forced to make a terrible sacrifice? The resistance against the new humans gains momentum as more people join the cause. Daniel and Evelyn, now leading the resistance, work tirelessly to find a way to reverse the genetic modifications that threaten to destroy humanity. But as they get closer to a solution, the dangers they face multiply. The new humans, led by Alexander Kane, are determined to crush the resistance before it can achieve its goals. After their narrow escape, Daniel and Evelyn establish a new base of operations in a remote, mountainous region. The safe house is hidden deep within a cave system, accessible only by a narrow, treacherous path. The location is ideal for avoiding detection, but it is also isolated, making communication with the outside world difficult. The safe house is a stark contrast to the bunker they left behind. It is cold, damp, and sparsely furnished. But it is safe, and that is all that matters. The resistance members work in shifts, constantly monitoring for any signs of intrusion. Despite the harsh conditions, morale is high. The members of the resistance are united by a common goal to restore humanity to its natural state. They know the risks they face, but they are driven by the belief that they are fighting for something greater than themselves. One day, after months of painstaking research, Evelyn makes a breakthrough. She discovers a method to stabilize the genetic modifications in new humans, potentially reversing the deterioration they are experiencing. The process involves introducing a viral vector that can correct the genetic errors caused by the original modifications. Daniel and Evelyn are elated. This is the first real hope they have had since the resistance began. They immediately begin testing the process on lab samples, and the results are promising. The viral vector appears to halt the accelerated aging process and even shows signs of restoring some of the lost emotional capacity in new human cells. The resistance members celebrate the breakthrough, but they know that this is only the first step. To truly reverse the damage, they will need to find a way to administer the treatment on a large scale, and for that they will need to infiltrate new human society. Daniel, Evelyn, and a select group of resistance members devise a plan to infiltrate a new human research facility. The facility is located in one of the most heavily guarded cities in the world, a place where new humans conduct their most advanced experiments. If the resistance can gain access to this facility, they could potentially distribute the viral vector throughout the new human population. The plan is risky, but it is their best chance. The resistance members who will carry out the mission undergo rigorous training, learning how to blend in with the new humans and avoid detection. They also develop a series of contingency plans in case something goes wrong. As the day of the mission approaches, tension runs high. The resistance members know that failure could mean the end of everything they have worked for. But they also know that success could change the course of history. The mission begins under the cover of darkness. The resistance members, disguised as new human scientists, make their way into the city. The city is a marvel of technology, with towering skyscrapers, advanced transportation systems, and surveillance cameras on every corner. The resistance members move cautiously, avoiding the cameras and sticking to the shadows. They reach the research facility without incident. The facility is a massive, high-tech structure, surrounded by a perimeter of electrified fences and guarded by robotic sentinels. The resistance members use forged credentials to gain access to the facility, and they quickly make their way to the lab where the viral vector will be introduced. Inside the lab, they work quickly, injecting the viral vector into the facility's central system. The vector will be distributed through the facility's air circulation system, eventually reaching every new human who works there. The process takes only a few minutes, but it feels like an eternity. Just as they finish, an alarm sounds. The resistance members' presence has been detected. They race to the exit, but the facility goes into lockdown. Doors slam shut, and security forces are mobilized. The resistance members are trapped. With the facility in lockdown, the resistance members have no choice but to fight their way out. They use their knowledge of the facility's layout to navigate through the complex, avoiding or disabling security systems as they go. But the new human security forces are relentless, and they quickly close in. As the resistance members reach the final exit, they find themselves surrounded. A fierce battle ensues, with the resistance members using every weapon and tactic at their disposal. The fight is brutal, and several resistance members are injured or killed. Daniel and Evelyn, leading the charge, manage to breach the final security barrier. They escape into the night, but the cost is high. Half of their team has been lost, and they are now fugitives with no safe place to go. But despite the losses, the mission is a success. The viral vector has been deployed, and it is only a matter of time before the effects begin to spread. As they regroup in a remote safe house, Daniel and Evelyn hold onto the hope that their actions will make a difference. The final battle between the resistance and the new humans is imminent. The viral vector has been deployed, and its effects are beginning to take hold. The new humans, realizing that their power is slipping away, launch a desperate counterattack to crush the resistance once and for all. Daniel, Evelyn, and their remaining allies prepare for the fight of their lives, knowing that the future of humanity hangs in the balance. In the days following the infiltration, the effects of the viral vector begin to manifest. New humans across the city report strange symptoms: fatigue, confusion, and a resurgence of emotions they thought they had long suppressed. The accelerated aging process that had been plaguing them slows down, and some even begin to show signs of physical improvement. But the most significant change is in their mental state. For the first time in years, the new humans begin to experience emotions, real, unfiltered emotions. Some are overwhelmed by the sudden flood of feelings, while others embrace the change. The rigid, calculated society of the new humans begins to unravel as the viral vector spreads. Daniel and Evelyn monitor the situation closely. They know that the new humans will not take this lying down. The resistance braces for the inevitable backlash. Alexander Kane is furious. He sees the viral vector as a direct attack on everything the new humans have built. His own body is beginning to show the effects of the vector, and he finds himself grappling with emotions he thought he had eliminated long ago. Kane is determined to stamp out the resistance and restore order. He rallies the remaining new human forces and launches a massive crackdown on any suspected resistance sympathizers. The city is plunged into chaos as new humans and classical humans alike are rounded up, interrogated, and in many cases executed. But the viral vector has sown the seeds of doubt among the new humans. Many begin to question Kane's leadership and his ruthless methods. A schism forms within the new human ranks, weakening their ability to effectively combat the resistance. The resistance, now larger and more organized than ever, prepares for the final confrontation. They know that Kane will stop at nothing to crush them, but they also know that they have the support of many new humans who have been changed by the viral vector. Daniel, Evelyn, and the remaining resistance leaders formulate a plan to take down Kane once and for all. They know that the only way to end the conflict is to cut off the head of the snake. Kane must be eliminated. The final battle takes place in the heart of the city, where Kane has established his command center. The resistance launches a coordinated assault, drawing on all their resources and allies. The fighting is intense, with both sides taking heavy casualties. Daniel and Evelyn lead the charge, fighting their way through the streets and into Kane's stronghold. They are driven by the knowledge that this is their last chance to save humanity. As they make their way through the building, they encounter fierce resistance from Kane's loyalists, but they press on. In the final moments of the battle, Daniel and Evelyn confront Kane in his command center. Kane, now visibly aged and weakened by the viral vector, is a shadow of his former self. But he is still dangerous, and he fights with a ferocity born of desperation. The confrontation is brutal and personal. Cain taunts Daniel and Evelyn, accusing them of destroying the future of humanity. But Daniel remains resolute. He knows that the new humans were never meant to be the future. They were a mistake, a deviation from the natural path of evolution. In the end, Daniel and Evelyn overpower Cain. As he lies dying, Cain utters a final, bitter curse, vowing that the new humans will rise again. But Daniel knows that the era of the new humans is over. With Cain's death, the new human society collapses. The remaining new humans, many of whom have been transformed by the viral vector, begin to reintegrate into classical human society. The rigid hierarchies that once defined the world are dismantled, and a new era begins. Daniel and Evelyn, exhausted but victorious, reflect on the journey that brought them to this point. They know that the world will never be the same, but they also know that they have given humanity a second chance. As the sun rises on a new day, Daniel and Evelyn stand together, watching the city as it slowly begins to heal. They have sacrificed much, but they have also gained something invaluable: the knowledge that no matter how far humanity strays, it can always find its way back. Don't forget to subscribe.